What's up, V2 crew? This is Unknown here, and we are going to talk today a little bit about region stacks. Now, as many of you know in the trophy world, there are a plethora of region stacks now. It's like almost every other game at least has multiple region stacks, multiple system console stacks as well, but we're going to focus today on the region stacks. Now, for those of you new to the scene, this might be very commonplace. However, a long time ago, in a trophy world far away, this used to not be the case. It was very rare that we had any region stacks of games. And if we did, it was usually for some other reason, or yeah, it was usually some like just strange reason or something. Strange region, pun intended. I don't know. Anyways, some of the first ones I can recall were only physical, and they were one of the first ones, Walking Dead Japanese. That I can remember doing. Now, a lot of these too, they were very like you kind of only did the region stack if you were a diehard trophy hunter. If it was somewhat hard to find, as you can see the difference right here, this 301,000 compared to just 2,000 here. Now, granted, this Walking Dead, I believe the first episode was just free for like everybody, so that probably really inflates this number massively, and I think it might have been free for Plus as well. It was also very popular at the time, so but yeah, this was like this doesn't have any EU stacks or anything like that. The other reason we would get region stacks was because the game needed, like, the country had some specific law or something related to it, and two games I can think of, well, one series and another game, German, they could not, they needed specific games, like for German soldiers, that had German soldiers. I don't want to dive too far into it because I don't know how far I can talk about it without um, YouTube complaining. It's probably okay. I'm probably just being overly conservative here, but yeah, you couldn't have like blood or certain symbol. It wasn't blood. It was like knives or something. It's something weird. Like you couldn't have knife attacks in the game. I don't know. And then the symbols on the soldiers as well. Um, Germany didn't want that, so they had yeah, specific stacks of this, and you can see it was a lot less. But here, I mean, it's not so much. This wasn't as popular a game as Walking Dead. I guess a lot. I guess it would only be mostly the German country anyway. Um, Actually, more players of this than the Japanese version of Walking Dead, which is kind of interesting. I do know, on a side note, Wanted Corp had, I think it was physical was like only French for some reason. Like you had it was only a French copy that you could get that was this physical one. It was strange, but and then all the other ones were just digital. Anyways, off from that tangent. And then here we can see the other German-esque game, Wolfenstein, even up to Cyberpilot, which was quite late, quite a bit more recent. Had German stacks, but yeah, New Order. That's one I played both stacks of. Wolfenstein 2 had a German stack, and Old Blood, and then I guess maybe they just continued the series. These ones didn't, but it might have been set up a little bit differently. Anyways, so So yeah, it was very uncommon place to have region stacks back then. There was a couple other ones like Family Game Night and a couple racing games. I think there was a some kind of racing game that was the first digital one that I can recall, but I can't remember which one it was because I didn't play it. Um, it had some like strange glitch to it too, where it made like the plat really easy. But and then like that became unobtainable. I don't know. Anyways, enough from that tangent. So, yeah, that was a long time ago, and initially when things started out, um, there just wasn't any region stacks. So, like even those. What I have up here now is my list. And we were going to look at kind of where these things popped up, like what years this region stackitude started. So, as some of you know, I was top 3 in the world and then kind of quit somewhere around September, October of 2020. But I did play all of the easy, almost probably 99% of the easy peasy. And we should be able to see where the region stacks popped up on my account fairly fairly well. Because like I said, I played like all of it. Um, so we use this as kind of like the baseline judge sort of deal. So as you can see, 2020, we got a lot of EU, Japanese, Asian. Um, it was like every game was getting at this point. I mean, aside from the Vita stacks and the PS4 stacks and stuff, but uh, the console stacks, I should say, we were getting pretty much a lot of EU, NA, and AS regions here. Now, some of these, it's going to take me a while to scroll down through, but so yeah, this was 2020, and then we would get Japanese stacks, like specific JP stacks of some games, but not all. It seemed like Asian was more prevalent here. And these tags actually really help to show this too. Scrolling on down. So here we're getting to the beginning of 2020, end of 2019. And you can see just like stacks upon stacks upon stacks. And every now and then we have a JP, but most of them, those JPs are not even stacks. They're just like that was not. I don't think that was an EU or NA game at all. It's like they just started tagging everything JP that was in Japanese, and then you got the once every now and then Korean stack of something. So here we are, summer of 2019. I wish this would load faster. I actually previously recorded this with just filtering out the Vita, or just looking at PS3 and PS4, but then I re-recorded for reasons where it was a fuzzy mic, so we're recording again. Yeah, still more EU, NA. We're still at the level of having a lot of Asian regions, not as much. But the other thing that became somewhat interesting when I was looking at this earlier, there was less Asian stacks. Like, I think we're getting to that point here, where, so we're gonna say like beginning of 2018 ish. We have stacks, but as you can see, they're only like NAEU. There's no Asian stuff popping up here. And that was kind of like when the RATA phase started coming. I mean, I guess we have a few things that have Asian stacks to them, but for the most part, it's just NAEU for a lot of these that aren't crazy stackitudes. Like Chaos Child that had what, like 10 stacks or something? Yeah, so I guess like 2018 was kind of the start of all of this. No, no, this was there was definitely EU and NA still here in 2017. Just not as much of it. Oh, and Earthing Mars had a strange number of stacks too. That even had a Japanese stack, was odd. Root Letter had like 10 stacks to it. Yeah, some of the physical ones had way more stacks than the digital. Interestingly enough. Yeah, look at all those root letters. Okay, so we're still looking for... Yeah, there's still NA, EU stacks at this point. 2016. Like, we have a few, but they were few and far between. Compared to every day of the week. Okay, so maybe we'll say that 2016... Like, summer of 2016... This, yeah, these sorts of games seem more like the ones that had the... When I remember playing games again, like, one more time for the EU. Yeah, World of Nubla was fairly early on in the stacking. Oh, maybe even earlier than this. Oh man, this brings back so many memories scrolling through this. Steins Gate had a ton of stacks to it. But again, that was physical. So... Yeah, so I guess like, maybe summer of 2015 they started doing some stacks of things, like Never Alone, The Fall, Quickflashes. Yeah, I guess we'll say like summer of 2015. And then I think the one of the first games that had like all of the stacks, like four, was Sound Shapes and Frogger. Frogger on the PS3 was like 100% game that you could do in like 10 minutes. That one, I'm like sure was the first. That had like 3 or 4 regions, and then Sound Shapes came when the PS4 came. Yeah, these are a lot of physical. So I think like summer of 2015 was kind of when we started just getting a bunch of region stacks. Yeah, you can see here. I mean, we had a few, like some of the JRPGs like Xillia and stuff like that, but these were even more few and far between at this point. There's that Sound Shapes. And then a lot of these stacks that you can see are just console stacks. And that was what? So that was like 6 years into trophy hunting. And even then it was just few and far between. When the EU NA of everything started coming out. Yeah, we got a few EU NA stuff here. But like I said, very few and very far between, and at this point I don't think we're gonna really have much. Other than probably Frogger and like Family Game Night, Walking Dead. Oh, some of these Move games had like an EU stack to them for some reason. EU NA split. interesting. I don't know how much further we're gonna go back here, but anyways, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. What was your first region stack that you encountered? Do you region stack? I don't know. I think a lot of people now are kind of just sick of all of the region stacks. Unless it's like a really good game and you really want to just play it again with another trophy list. But at this point, it's just so saturated with every game getting region stacks upon region stacks. So they can just sell you more copies of it. Alright, guys, and I wonder too, post some comments about the Xbox achievement system. I hear that they don't really have region stacks, but I'm curious if they have stacks of things like Wolfenstein and Wanted Weapons of Fate, where it was like a country specific. If anyone knows, let me know below. I would love to hear about that, just out of curiosity. So yeah, to sum up, I guess it was like 6 years in, we finally started getting more EUNA stacks, and then it wasn't until like 2018 or 2019 when companies really started pushing out the all right, let's add Asian stacks to everything as well. So all right, I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Kind of an interesting one, kind of a long one, but yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed looking at this stuff. With that being said, if you want to hang out on Twitch or in the Discord, I will post some links below if you want to join the V2 crew there. Not entirely trophy centric, but it's kind of the makeup at the moment. A lot of trophy hunters, but just game as you want. Hopefully we can expand it. And yeah, with that being said, everybody have a good night, good morning, enjoy your games, spread the positivity, game on your own terms, you do you, and be your V2.